Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video we're going to talk getting started with Warhammer Age of Sigmar Warcry, and today we're going to take a look at the Lumineth Realm Lords. In this video we're going to talk about how the Lumineth Realm Lords function on the tabletop briefly in Warcry. We'll then take a look at some units we can use to start our Lumineth force with. We'll then continue on looking at some other units we can use to expand upon our force after those initial purchases, and finally finish off the video with a little sample 1000 renown warband for you to use as some inspiration for creating your own Lumineth Realm Lords warband for Warhammer Age of Sigmar Warcry. So before we get into all of this, it's worth mentioning that you can find the rules for free to download from warhammercommunity.com. Simply go to the download section of the website, go under the Warcry header, and you'll find the Lumineth Realm Lord rules in the Order Compendium 2. Now, on the tabletop, Lumineth Realm Lords are a great defensive-focused force. They have some solid defensive units, and they've got a lot of abilities that really do help them work together to make a tougher fight than might be if they are sort of all playing individually. You've got a variety of different troops. Warrior Rumark troops, generally your Venari troops, will form a solid core for your warband, and you'll be able to bring in other specialist pieces to provide buffs and different abilities to affect the way your warband plays on the tabletop. This is a warband that really does focus on having a strong core to it. Those Warrior Rumark troops definitely stick together and fight well when together. And then you've also got the ability as well, and a reaction that will allow you to turn critical hits into regular hits if they're targeting your models, which is pretty cool. With all of that said, let's take a look at how we can begin to start our Lumineth Realm Lords force. And so, to get started with, first of all, we have the Sigmar Calagrave. I think this is an excellent leader option for your Lumineth Realm Lords. For me, it's got one of the best doubles I think the Lumineth Realm Lords have access to in its ability, called Realm Scribe, where you pick a point on the battlefield within 9 inches of this fighter, and you place a special token there. Until the end of the battle round, you subtract 1 from the damage points allocated by each critical hit from attack actions that target friendly fighters whilst within 6 inches of the center of that token. Pretty cool stuff. Like, once again, this is just showing the defensive abilities you have available to you with the Lumineth Realm Lords. On top of that, you've got 18 wounds, toughness 3, and you've got a little bit of range damage there with your standard sort of wizard attack at range, 2 attack, strength 3, 3, 6 on the damage. Now, it's definitely worth looking at these Warrior Rumark troops. I think these are really going to be where the power is for your army, and you've got options. Venari Blade Lords, Venari Aurelin Wardens, Venari Aurelin Sentinels, I think are the best options available too. Now, for starters, they can also use the double for Shining Company. A fighter can only use this ability if there are 2 or more other friendly fighters, both with the Lumineth Realm Lords and the Warrior Rumark, hence why taking these units in, a group is really nice, and whilst they're within 1 inch of the fighter. Until the end of the battle round, you subtract 1 from the attack's characteristic to a minimum of 1 from attack actions made by enemy fighters while they target a fighter within 1 inch. This is really cool. This targets every attack coming into them so long as they're in that little tight-knit group. Really solid stuff, This will affect shooting attacks and stuff like that. Obviously, only down to a minimum of 1, but can definitely sort of ease a lot of units' power, especially ranged units. Now, we've got the Venari Blade Lords. They've also got their own ability they can use as well, which is called Perfect Strike for a quad. The fighter makes a bonus attack action. In addition, you add the value of this ability to the damage points allocated by each critical hit from said attack, which is pretty nice. Now, looking at the units themselves, we have the Venari Blade Lords, who are going to have 12 wounds and toughness 3. 3 attacks at strength 4, 2, 5 on the damage is pretty nice. Being able to add the value to that crit damage there on a quad is pretty cool as well. The Venari Aurelin Sentinels have a 3 to 15 inch range on their ranged attack at 2 shots, strength 3, 1, 3 on the damage. Meanwhile, you're going to get a 3 inch range in melee with the Venari Aurelin Wardens at 3 attacks at strength 3, 1, 4 on the damage. Definitely your Wardens, I think, are going to form your core, and the Blade Lords are going to be a nice little piece to add in along with the Sentinels. Where to go to next though, and I really like the Sigmar Calagrave. The Sigmar Calagrave here is a really fun model to bring in. The triple for emotional transference is really nice. You pick a visible friendly fighter with the Lumineth Realm Lords faction rune mark that has 1 or more damage points allocated to them and is within 12 inch of this fighter, the Calagrave. You then pick a visible enemy fighter within 12 inch of the Cathalar again, and you roll a number of dice equal to the damage points allocated to that friendly fighter. For each 4+, you allocate a damage point to the enemy fighter. Pretty similar to how their ability works in Warhammer Age of Sigmar, you know, passing off the Battleshock test, but this is just going to sort of split the damage back and at least do 50% of the damage done to you on average back to your opponent. We then have the Alarith Stone Mage. He's got the quad for us for our leader options with Gravitic Redirection. You allocate D3 damage points to all visible enemy fighters within 6 inch of this fighter, and you roll for each. And in addition, until the end of the battle round, you halve the move characteristics of all enemy fighters within 6 inch when they try and make a move within range of them. Pretty cool stuff here. I really like, you know, the area damage effect. It's got some cool stuff it can do. Looking around with that model, we have the Alarith Stone Guard as well, our Alarith troops. And there's really two differences here. You've got the Diamond Pick Hammers and the Stone Mallets. Both Alarith will have Toughness 4 and 12 wounds, which is pretty good defensively for Lumineth Realm Lords there. But you're going to get the options of either getting an extra attack with the Diamond Pick Hammers, so having the nice 3 attacks at strength 4, 2, 5 on the damage. So they're going to have, you know, pretty solid attacks here, so they got that extra bit of damage, and then you're either going to get extra strength on the Stone Mallet, so you'll be down to 2/4 on your damage with a 1 less crit, but you will be strength 5. For me, I really like the higher strength. We don't have a lot of it in Lumineth Realm Lord, so I think it's a really good shout. Lastly, we have the Hurricane Windcharger. I think these are a really interesting troop. First of all, they've got a nice 12-inch move. This is just incredibly fast and really useful in a force that does like to stick together and play much more defensively. 18 wounds and toughness 3 is pretty solid, a decent amount of wounds there. You've got a 10-inch range with their bows at 2 attacks, strength 4, 1/4 on the damage, and then you've got 4 attacks in melee with strength 3, 1/3 on the damage. They've also got access to a really cool ability thanks to their Agile Rune Mark. This is going to be a triple called Move Like the Wind, where until the end of this fighter's activation, this fighter can finish disengage actions within 1 inch of an enemy fighter. This is really cool. It just allows them to sort of jump from combat to combat, which is really cool and useful to have access to. And so here we have our sample warband for the Lumineth Realm Lords. First of all, we have the Alarith Stone Mage, who's going to be our champion, by far the most survivable of all our heroes. We've then got a Calagrave and a Cathalar in there. The Calagrave and Cathalar are really, really cheap for the ability they can provide with their nice, cool utility abilities. And then moving into fighters, we have 3 Venari Aurelin Wardens. These are really going to form the main bulk of our force. We've then got a Sentinel and a Venari Blade Lord. Like I said, this is going to be our solid fighting core here. An Alarith Stone Guard with the Stone Mallet is going to be a really nice addition to our force, able to use the double for Mountain Stance, where until the end of the battle round, you can subtract 1 from the damage points allocated by each hit and critical hit from attack actions that target this fighter. He can be a nice sort of lone worker if need be, or move out with one of the other characters if he wants. We then have a Hurricane Windcharger, which is going to provide some much needed movement ability to our force as well. 995 renown spent here, and we've got 128 wounds, which is pretty much in that sort of average range, pretty smack bang in the middle there. A decent amount of fighters with 10 fighters on the table, so a nice 10 activations, some good leader options, and we've got most of the options available to us. We're going to have plenty of stuff to be able to use for quads, triples, and doubles in this force. We're never going to have any that get unspent, I don't think. If you've played with Lumineth Realm Lords in Warcry, let us know how you've been going and what you would do down in the comments below to get started with Lumineth. That's the end of the video, everyone. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, drop us a comment down below in the comment section and let us know what you enjoyed about the video and what you'd like to see more of on the channel. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our little community here we have at Sinful Gaming, you can do so on our Discord server, which is linked in the video's description. Also linked in the video's description is our Patreon and YouTube members, where you can go to help support the channel and allow us to keep doing what we're doing. As a special thank you to our Patreons and YouTube members, we'd like to give them all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons: Christian Weir, Soren, Greenskins Gaming, Kenny Lauer, Outer Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising 8, Q Dynamic, Anthony B, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Derek, and Giappy390. And to our YouTube members: Greenroots Gaming, Kenton Young, Ronya, Lockloric, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nicofire, Robin Mankiller, and Monty's Tabletop Terrain. And lastly, a special thanks to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork you see on the channel. Thank you all for watching. Once again, stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now, everyone.